can smoke.
You can flash smoke over that, pretty sure.
Yeah, okay, cool. So that does change a little bit of meta, especially for someone playing up an op on that side of the map. So with that said, we should be going LO3 right now, and we'll give you the BenQ roster rundown. Starting out on the counter-terrorist side, it is iBUYPOWER, AZK, Skadoodle, Dazed, Swag, and the new boy. Well, I guess Swag's the new boy as well, but the new boy returning to the NA scene, Steel. And Manajuma's Mediocre Gamers are going to be starting out on the T side with Shroud, Deborn, Icy, Irakanji, and Miniker. And that's definitely going to be an interesting five. Right now, we are already underway in the pistol round, and it looks like Manajumas are going to be heading into that horseshoe position, going through the underpass, walking at your default spot in the boxes, and that's going to put them with a little bit of silence toward the A site, which has Swag in the backside and Steel playing up at the catwalk. Skadoodle's at mid, and he could quickly rotate over as Dazed and AZK stack up on B. Irakanji's over there. He's put out a decoy in the B halls, so that doesn't allow them to fully rotate, but Dazed is already heading that direction. He's in CT spawn. And he's actually changed his mind as there's been no aggression from Shroud, Deborn, or Icy as they now fall back in the horseshoe, interestingly enough. So, not sure if they can find the pick they're looking for, but they aren't running a sort of a rush strategy on the pistol round by any means. They're playing very passive, as now Irakanji and Miniker are going to stack up on middle, and Steel's going to get aggressive, push into horseshoe. At this point in the map, or pardon me, in the round with 50 seconds remaining, they want to spot them as soon as they can, and here's that European aggression. Steel finding and spotting early. Irakanji, though, gets the first frag. There it is, on to Skadoodle. And that's at middle, so that's going to open things up here and get things underway as AZK now sitting here in the backside of B on the lower side. One goes right by him, and he's going to get the frag onto Irakanji, who managed to get Dazed just before that. AZK goes into Deborn, and now Icy goes back into him. Miniker just sitting here waiting at the CT spawn connector here, trying to spot one more. There it is. Steel's going to drop down. Now it's all on Swag as we see him coming around from the jail side, and Icy gets the frag, so Mediocre with a very patient pistol round do get round number one.
Yeah, in that round you actually saw, like you said, 3 underground were with the bomb, and they were actually looking to go into horseshoe and go to the A bomb site, while 2 were over towards the B side to possibly throw a fake or work their way to mid eventually and work some type of A split. But Steel threw a Molotov or incendiary grenade from upper CT, which slowed down that rush, and because they couldn't get the timing that they wanted, they just fell off of it. They wound up just working in mid to B split. They actually did catch Skadoodle, who had already kind of rotated to the A bomb site, which kind of gave them an opening to get into jail. And from there, they were just able to split the site and execute really, really well. AZK had a couple of frags, but not quite enough. And as you can see, iBUYPOWER's, of course, eco. They didn't buy head armor. They just upgraded their pistol, so not in a full investment, just kind of a partial buy. But you can see that they're stacking all 5B, and everyone for Jumas is going A.
Absolutely. So they're going to wait it out here on the B side, and Jumas right now are going to discover Irakanji pushing into the catwalk. That they've got A all to themselves. They can do as they please, and Icy should put that bomb down. Now, they're not too sure. They're still playing a pass. They don't want to get picked off by anyone sitting in a corner, but that's not going to happen. So the bomb will go down. That'll give us a timer of about, well, whenever it goes down. Still waiting. Not sure what the patience is here. There it is. Finally, it goes down, so now the timer's reset onto the bomb. And now it's going to be just set up and wait for the rotation. Like you said, full rifles out here for Manajumas, so they want to try and keep all 5 alive, and that stack would have been absolutely massive on an eco round, but unfortunately, they gambled with the 50-50 odds and came out wrong. And now they've got to try and retake. Are they just going to hold on and save here? No, they are coming over from middle now. I thought they might just go for no frags at all. It won't affect their economy too much if they can't get a frag either way, so we may just see them look for exits. And in fact, yeah, that's what they are going to do. So bomb will detonate. We get the odd situation that you don't see too often. I'm not going to speak too soon until the round resets, but all 10 players remain in the second round. Not a frag to be spoken of at all. My job's pretty straightforward. And the second round goes the way of Mediocre Gaming on a strategy play.
Right. So, I mean, I pretty much kind of summed that up. It was a stack on one side, Jumas went the other way. Pretty simple stuff.
And that'll take us into round 3. Of course, they are actually surprisingly iBUYPOWER, despite not being aggressive at all in the last round, are going to go for some rifles right now. So 4 FAMAS is out on the board, and that CZ75 in the hands of Steel. And once again, they're going to stack it up on the B site, so 2 in a row. And as you guys said in the pregame, Steel is the new strat caller for iBUYPOWER. And this is interesting that he would call a double stack like this, and a bit of a surprise buy, considering they didn't get much frag money at all But this time they've gambled, and it looks like it's going to be correct. Miniker is going to be your aggressor, and I think that, yeah, right beside him here is going to be DeBorn. He's also going to come in. Look at this, though. Dazed push up on outside at B. He's going to wait for it, and he's going to spot Miniker, but yes, he does get the frag. Looked like he whiffed on that first shot, and Miniker does drop down. That's your first frag of the round, but Icy immediately avenges his teammate, goes back into him, so trade goes evenly. Icy only losing 21 HP on that exchange as well. And now they're going to rotate back. It looks like Irakanji's made the call that A is all open right now, as he did split over to that bomb site trying to work picks and figure out exactly what iBUYPOWER was doing. And now he's going to stack up at CT spawn and slow down the rotation as well. But, man, Icy, a little bit slow getting through there. I'm surprised they didn't go through vents. They went all the way back through. And that's going to allow for a bit of time for AZK and Swag to get up on the high side of it. And that's where they are, as you can see them just spotting it out. Swag trying to find that frag on the backside, other side into Catwalk. AZK is going to get Irakanji, though, as Irakanji gets a little bit sloppy. AZK actually had his knife out when he came around the corner, so both of them not really ready for that exchange. Flash is heading out here onto Jay. Skadoodle blinded up briefly there. He's going to try and readdress here as the bomb has been planted. And now he's going to get smoked off. So 3v4 the situation. iBUYPOWER still in good position here. Skadoodle comes through the smoke. No, not able to get to Borg, who was already firing up at Catwalk. He continues his fire, makes it a hat trick. Finally drops down to Steel, but the damage has been done. The play has been made, and Icy and Shroud run away and retreat, as does Steel hanging on to that AK-47 he did manage to pick up, but round 3 goes the way of Mediocre, and the T side is off to a flying start.
Yeah, you saw iBUYPOWER go ahead and buy out Famasas there in the 3rd round, so it's kind of a risk because you're basically not allowing yourself to buy in round number 4 because you bought in round 3 if you lose. But in that token, you're just kind of switching when you save and when you buy. So instead of saving round 3, buying round 4, it's just the other way around. You saw Titan actually do this a fair amount to Dignitas in their best of 5 in the Fragbite Grand Finals. So maybe this is like something you see occasionally, but maybe it's becoming more of a common play from CT side to buy, because you know the Terrors probably have Galils and not necessarily AKs just yet on all their players. So you kind of chance the FAMAS being a little bit better and trying to do things. But of course they'll be ecoed this round. Still has the AK, so they have one gun to play around with, so they can maybe still make something happen. As you can see, they're kind of stacked up at Cat to try to make a play with it, so we'll just have to see what happens.
And they still need frags despite egoing this round. There's not going to be a full buy unless they get a few. And Steel's going to drop down right out of Miniker, who wrapped around from the squeaky door from J Hall. Swag's going to respond to him, but Irakanji goes immediately back into him. And now Catwalk looks like it's going to be the place of aggression here, as they are going to go full on. Skadoodle, though, inside the pit is going to take down Irakanji with that CZ75. Good play by him. Almost gets a second one on Icy, but unable to connect. And now he will drop down as a result. And that opens up the A site. Dazed rotating back around from Jay. He's going to get smoked out. And that means the 3-on-2 situation does now heavily favor Jumas, as they can get in and put the bomb down. But watch out, here comes a bit of a flank. Who was it I saw heading that direction through middle? It looks like it's going to be Dazed. See if he can get in behind. And AZK's actually got one. Wow, a little bit of a misplay as he turned around and put some fire in toward his teammate in Dazed. Not sure he was even ready for that flank. But both stacked up here from the J-Hall, pardon me, from you right now. Shroud and DeBorn are in position. AZK, though, gets aggressive. Good play as he picks up that AK-47, and they do pick up an eco round. There it is, 3-1 now. Your score, iBUY, get back into it on the back of a great eco round and a good performance on a flank.
Yeah, that was just great plays there by Skadoodle, Swag, and Steel, all just over there on that catwalk. They were kind of stacked up. They were able to get an AK down, and they just kind of played hot potato with the AK, to be honest. Each of them were kind of grabbing a frag with it. And in the end, AZK just makes a heads-up play. I mean, you would think Shroud and DeBorn had a great crossfire there inside you, but I think Shroud looked away for just a split second towards upper CT, and the moment he looked away, AZK just has this perfect timing peek onto DeBorn inside the horseshoe. So he got a one-on-one where he really should have had to face a 2v1 crossfire. So that was just one of those little lucky timings that just sometimes help out and cause an individual play. But now we have even guns. Now we'll see our first test.
And Skadoodle's hopping inside horseshoe. I called it U-Haul last time. Pardon me, that's not a rental trailer.
That works too.
Yeah, it's all right. You guys got the gist of it. I was lost for words. I used the quickest thing I could come up with. But yeah, interesting.
I've actually heard it called you, so you're okay.
No, I totally have too, but it's not common, and I don't like it as much. It doesn't sound as cool. Horseshoe's far more interesting. Steel's going to get the first frag as he's pushed up here, but DeBorn comes through squeaky and manages to take him down. So again, the trades have been even, as they have been early on in the round. So far the pick strategy hasn't been heavily one-sided, but as I say that, Icy makes a beautiful shot on his Swag, and Irakanji takes down Dazed. That gives them full mid-control, and AZK and Skadoodle are forced here to clutch back in a 4-on-2 situation. And Skadoodle, like I said, was pushed up in that horseshoe position, but that's going to allow him to get back onto the catwalk, and that's a good spot to be, onto the high side of it, and he takes down Catwalk with 2 quick frags. DeBorn and Irakanji do go down, but Icy responds into him, and now it is a 1-on-2. AZK with all the work to do. Good flashes heading in through the smokes. That lets him get aggressive, but Shroud spots him up. He gets the first strike. He gets the second frag. AZK, second straight round on a 1v2, manages to pick up a double, gets the defuse, and 3-2 now your score. AZK going absolutely ham.
Yeah, the story of that round is really Skadoodle's 2 op frags, and then once again AZK clutching a 1 versus 2 situation. Well, I guess last time was technically a 2 versus 2, but he made the play alone in the previous round. In that round, I don't know, man. Like, I'm surprised that nade didn't actually end the bomb planner. When that nade missed, I was like, oh man, that was like a really big missed opportunity. But once again, AZK finds a way to turn a 1 versus 2 into 2 separate 1 versus 1 peeking scenarios where he wins both. So that was just, once again, really good heads-up play by AZK. That time the CT's, the Terrace post plant were actually positioned really well. They just he happened to get an angle on the corner of that box to be able to peek the horseshoe player for free without having to worry about the player inside the site who planted. So that was just tough. But we're in another gun round here still, so still a chance for Jumas to find it around and try to break the iBUYPOWER momentum we've seen the past couple of rounds.
Skadoodle with a big shot. That took down the bomb carrier as well, so they know exactly where most of the players are going to be at B-side because of that. Nice shot by Skadoodle. Used to, actually, I don't know that I ever did play against him in Call of Duty, but he was in the same league as me for a while. Never really saw him one-on-one, but I do know that he scoped in COD, so he's got that reaction timing in all games across the board. And Mediocre's going to now get aggressive, take down AZK, so the clutch man has fallen, but he does manage to do enough damage that Skadoodle can pop out, take down Mediocre with ease, and he falls back beautifully. Skadoodle's positioning in this round is spot on as he takes down Icy. That's a hat trick already, and that's going to lock down the B site pretty much completely as Daze now rotates around into the pit, and that's going to give them the positioning to hold off DeBorn. They are the 2 remaining players in a 4-on-2 situation, and they need this round. They went 3-0, it's now 3-2. iBUYPOWER clawed back beautifully, like I said, on the back of AZK, but he's down and out, and Manajumas have to do something right now as 4 100% health iBUYPOWER players remain in the way of their attempted victory. DeBorn now getting aggressive, nice and slowly, as is Shroud. And they get inside the site. Swag's going to make the frag, though, and Daze gets the second one with the help of Swag. So there you go. Double kills on the cross the board, and it's a 3-3 game. The CT's back in this very early.
Yeah, a trend I want to point out, and I want you guys to keep an eye on this for the rest of the match, or at least the rest of this half, is the way that they're moving Skadoodle around with the op. If you notice, there was 2 rounds where he played upper A, playing aggressive at the horseshoe, and also just kind of peeking cat from upper A. But literally that round, of course, he was playing upper B and actually peeking into the B entryway. And now, this round, you'll see him at mid. So the point is I don't know if they're doing this off of spawns or if Steel's just gut calling it, but they're moving that op around. That's going to keep Juma's on the back foot. They're never really sure where they can peek without getting on.
It's a save round, but they're heading toward Horseshoe, and they had 2 players stacked up there. Not to interrupt you, sorry about that, but that was about to break. And a good frag there by Steel as well. That nade takes down 1 more, so they do manage to get 2, make it down now 3 of the 5 players that were coming that direction. But they did pick up 1 gun. Icy's got a hold of that, and they do make good use of it as they take down Steel. That allows them to get inside this site, but Skadoodle, pardon me, Dazed actually got that shot. I thought it was Skadoodle that was going to make that play. Dazed gets the shot onto Icy, and now it's all on Mediocre. So 1-on-3, looks like he should drop down. Mind you, he does hold on to that gun. He might actually just... Well, he's in a position where he can't really... He might try and save this as he is back toward Horseshoe. He's going to throw it down here for that stat track, stickered up iBUYPOWER version of that gun. Wanted something a little bit prettier, but yeah, there it is. Daze is going to come around from upper, and I don't think he expected that quite so soon. And there it is, the frag. 4-3 now, iBUYPOWER, 4 straight unanswered rounds, and they take their first lead of the game.
Yep, they seem to be playing solid now that they have guns. Like I said, they're moving Skadoodle around with the op. They're keeping Jumas guessing on where they can peek for free and where they have to worry about peeking out into an op and giving a free kill, basically. And, I mean, really everyone on iBUYPOWER is playing well. They're playing a very dynamic CT setup. As you can see, this round they're actually only playing 1 towards B. They're pushing 2 mid and 2 cat. So they're showing us that they have a bag of tricks. They can be aggressive. They can also play passive.
Well, right now the aggression is going to be strong as Mediocre and Icy pick up frags into the A site. Good plays by them right now as they do try and get aggressive, like I said, and get the bomb down early. They want this round. Shroud's going to get one of his own now onto AZK. He's down and out, and it looks like Manajumas are in a good position to finally get around back here as the bomb does go down. Dazed will fall at middle as he was down very low HP from an earlier exchange that he had and actually got the better of with Irakanji. But now it's all on Skadoodle, the man with the op, sitting back in that connector to CT toward B, and he's going to be pushed here from jail. And I think he's heard Mediocre. Yeah, in fact, he has, obviously, as he turned around there with a very easy shot. but that gives away his position, and they will pursue, they will hunt, as they don't want him to save this up. Nice shot, though, Skadoodle, as DeBorn tried to get cheeky and come over the hood of the truck there. Not going to happen. He takes him down with a relatively easy flick shot, and the bomb will detonate. That's going to give it a 4-4 score here. Mediocre back on the board, but Skadoodle get away with the op and a little bit of damage to boot.
Yeah, good play there by Jumas, and that was really a key round for them. Obviously, iBUYPOWER had won the last 4 rounds in a row. They took the lead away. They had the momentum going. But this is kind of a dangerous situation, right? Because Jumas did hit their maximum money bonus after losing 4 in a row. That has now been reset, of course. So if iBUYPOWER were to win this round, we would likely see Jumas in either a force or save type situation, which would allow iBUYPOWER to lead right back with a couple of rounds to boot with it. So this is actually another really important round for Jumas economic. Yep.
B-push on only Skadoodle as well. Sorry, again, I interrupt you, but it looks like this is a stack that didn't work out. They tried to go to A site, and Jumas is going to walk into B with only the 1 frag needed, and there it is. Miniker gets it, so the bomb will be planted, and now a retake is the order of the day, the soup of the day. And they want to make a stew out of right now with Jumas, but not going to happen so easily. But the rotation from Jail comes in at perfect timing as Steel saves Dazed as he gets there just in the nick of time. A 4-on-4 situation, but again, that bomb is down, and they've smoked off all entries to the site. Jumas doing a good job of delaying iBUYPOWER, and in fact, such a good job that they're going to fall back and hold on to the rifles. They don't want to lose 2 straight rounds and be forced to eco. So that'll do it. Mediocre is going to pick up round number 5 as we head into round 10 of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, that round, like you saw it's always a tough situation where you have 4 players up and you still find yourself in a situation where you can't go for it and you have to save. Normally, you would never want to be in a situation on a retake where you have to eco out with your 4 players, but like you mentioned, Juma's just excellent use of their smoke grenades, flashes, and HEs. It didn't allow iBUYPOWER really any picks or any entries back into the site, and the bomb had already been ticking for like 10 or so seconds by that point. So even if you do wind up getting in and getting frags, the bomb's been ticking for so long it's going to be hard to get to defuse.
And this round looks like it's going to be an A push here from Jumas. I keep calling them Jumas. Sir Scoots is asking in chat why they have 2 names. Jumas is their former name. Mediocre is what they switched to when they made it into Invite. But of course, they're still tagged up with the Jumas handle, so I'm just going back and forth. If that's confusing, at least you know I'm not talking about iBUYPOWER. You can fill in the blanks. Miniker's going to get a double kill. Steel gets 1 back into Irakanji, and that's going to make it a 4-on-3 situation with the bomb down now. Jumas doing a fantastic job again of picking up another round. Wow, nice nade there, Miniker. Not exactly a Tom Brady by any means, as he drops that to his own feet. Didn't lose a whole lot of health off it, though. He is at 32. And now it's going to be up to Dazed and Co. as they try and retake onto the site. Nice nade. That's going to do a lot of damage to Shroud. He's down to 38% right now. And they still try and get to the site. Skadoodle's going to make it a little bit easier as he gets 1 op shot there on upper. Make it a double. Nice play. And Dazed actually got Shroud, who was in the middle horseshoe there. And it's all on Icy, but enough time has expired. The bomb will detonate not before Skadoodle finishes off the 5th player from Jumas. So at least they get some money from the frags, but they give up another straight round. That's 3 in a row now. 6-4 your score. It was a 3-0, just to recap. 3-0, 4-3 iBUYPOWER, 6-4 Mediocre. So streaks of 3 here for Jumas.
Yeah, this is now starting to turn this match into this kind of back and forth ping pong type situation. Each team is hitting a streak. They're getting a little bit momentum, and as you can see, the scoreboard's definitely close. It's 6-4, but now it's time to determine who is actually going to pull ahead. I mean, money's not really that much of an issue at this point in time. Jumas has a pretty decent CT side, has a couple players with decent bank, a couple low. So this is a big round here to see who can bring the momentum back.
Absolutely, yeah. So already the situation favors iBUYPOWER. Dazed is down to 12 HP from that exchange, as we saw there. As DeBorn and Miniker have fallen. Skadoodle's sitting in the backside here toward J at the A site, but that's not going to be important whatsoever or relevant as AZK gets taken down at the outside of B here from Shroud, and now, Dazed falls down into pit. Tries to find a bit of cover here. Steel's going to rotate around from Jail. He's got good positioning, but can't connect on Irakanji. Takes him down to 52 HP. And then eats a bit of a nade. Wow, he got lucky. That bounced on the left side of the door from him, as it only took off 5 HP. Could have been a lot worse. As Steel now enters into the site to support his teammate in Dazed, and Irakanji, Icy, and Shroud actually still being passive here. They've fallen back, and Skadoodle's actually thought they might have re-rotated over to A. They do have time to do that, so Skadoodle's not going to take chances here as he rotates back with that op, leaving just Dazed and Steel to defend this. And I like this. Why rotate back when you can just sit outside patiently and allow them to think that? But Steel's not going to be fooled. He takes down Irakanji, but Shroud and Icy with a beautiful crossfire from the short connector into B get a great double frag there, and that's going to allow them to plant the bomb and get a bit of an advantage in the round. Mind you, HP heavily going the other way. Skadoodle, nice shot through the boxes there onto Shroud, and now Icy, the only man remaining, has to bait them out and play the timer, and if he can do so, he can pick up a very crucial round for his team, but they should be able to push him double here. They have smoked it off. Yeah, nice shot. Swag gets the play. There it is. The new pickup. The trade with... it wasn't really a trade, but the trade with complexity. He comes in and he is hot. He takes him down. There you go. 6-5.
Yeah, so that round was kind of back and forth, right? So iBUYPOWER actually threw a really nice Molotov at B, and it caught Mediocre in a really awkward situation because they had already pressed too far to fall back around the corner, back towards T-spawn. So they were kind of just running backwards, and they just were like open free kills, basically. So those 2 kills went immediately to iBUYPOWER. But Juma's cooked and waited long enough to where iBUYPOWER started second-guessing themselves and rotating a couple players back to A. So they caught like a temporary advantage pressing into the site. But in the end, it comes down to a 2-on-2 where iBUYPOWER is able to clutch. And also a fun fact, Steel has less ping than Daze from Europe, or did he move back to Canada already? I'm confused.
I think he's already back.
I think he's still in Europe.
Okay.
European internet, though.
Interesting. Very interesting. Mind you, every time I'm on Reddit, USA is complaining about their internet, so I'm not surprised. Shroud's going to get the first frag through the wall there onto Daze. That's at the jail side right now as Mediocre and Deborn try and get aggressive here. Why is Mediocre looking at Deborn like he wants to shoot him? I'm not sure. As they post up in middle trying to find anything at all. But look at this. iBUYPOWER's already putting a lot of eggs into the B basket right now as Swag, Steel, and Skadoodle. The 3 S's. It used to be the 3 A's, interestingly enough. It used to be Anger, Adren, and AZK. Now it's Swag, Steel, Skadoodle. So they always favor one letter on this team, it seems. And now S is the flavor of the month.
Expert analysis here from Matthew Sadek.
Completely relevant information. If you're going to have 3 players, it's got to be of the same letter. Look at this. Irakanji. Good play. Oh, wow. What a shot. I was going to say that was a beautiful position by him as he waited it out in the middle, but Skadoodle's reactions there, beautiful as he takes him down, so it is an even trade. Still a man up are Mediocre Gamers right now, and they put the bomb down yet again. They put the bomb down a lot in this half, so that's something to absolutely take note of as it keeps their economy high. And look at this little peak battle here with Steel and Icy, and Steel gets the better of it finally as he takes him down. And now AZK rotating around from J is going to get another frag. Shroud, the only player remaining. Skadoodle getting aggressive with the op, switching over to the CZ75, secures the kill, and the bomb gets deplanted. That's an... I like it. Deplanted in the meantime. 6-6 now your score. Round 13, going to be a very important one here for Jumas.
I think I need Sir Scoot's do not peek bet on that one. I don't know why Jumas tried to press in the J and the CT spawn, gave AZK a free kill and really helped drive the momentum of that retake. They had the plant and default spots, normal crossfire positions you want to have for that are to your advantage, or like horseshoe and underground, maybe catwalk to peek out and catch the guy diffusing. But yeah, they just peeked out and gave free kills to iBUYPOWER. It was kind of sloppy play.
And it looks like it's going to be, well, it's a bit of a split strategy right now. No, Juma's actually going to get pretty aggressive here onto Horseshoe. Irakanji's already dropped down, so the 4 remaining players are there. Deborn's going to get the frag. They get into the site uncontested. Somehow they got across, despite 3 players in J looking that way. Skadoodle finally gets a frag onto Mediocre, and now Swag sitting down below, trying to do anything he can, but Icy pops down, and he's going to get a double. Again, no one upper. They had 3 in the site, and they completely allowed them to enter, and Icy gets aggressive, drops down, gets a hat trick now as a result. Completely uncontested. A little bit sloppy there from iBUYPOWER, and now AZK is going to creep through the smoke. Icy firing away. Oh, just missing him, spotting him just to the right, but Deborn picks up the frag on the back of his teammate's death, and that's going to make it 7-6 here. Mediocre doing a fantastic job on the T side.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely starting to get to be a really nitty-gritty back and forth battle here between these 2 teams. I predicted the match would be close at the pregame show, and it's definitely shaping up to be somewhat like I expected. But I don't know, man. We have a double sniper set up now from iBUYPOWER. AZK picking up the auto, Skadoodle with the op still. So this might be something new that Jumas has to deal with here in the last couple of rounds that might throw him off a little bit. We'll have to see. Also, Jumas picking up an op for the first time from what I can tell. Mediocre has it. I don't think I've seen them op at all this half, so also a new strategy there for them.
Yeah, very spread out here. Skadoodle once again, only one posted up at B. He's holding on to the optic. On with that now. AZK also with that auto sniper at middle. So what's Icy doing in spawn with the bomb? Is he lagged out? No, he's just sitting there waiting for anyone to push onto T stairs. It's just the best angle he can think of doing it to get the earliest peak possible. Irakanji now and Mediocre are going to try and slowly work it toward B. And again, that bomb just sitting stationary inside spawn, waiting for the pick to come from either side of the map. Dazed and DeBorn are finally going to say hello to each other at middle. And Dazed actually punched him in the face instead of shaking hands. He gets the frag. DeBorn drops down. You're rude, Dazed. But there it is. Skadoodle's going to get another one there.
Oh my
Making a double. Unbelievable quick scope. This guy's reactions are unbelievable as he takes down one more at B. And again, that site is closed, but Icy takes one right out of his playbook and says, I don't even op. I'm going to pick it up and take you down, son. And that's going to allow him to get inside the site. The bomb will be planted. 2 on 4. The situation. Dazed, though, only on 5 HP. And Icy's going to do everything he can to delay anyone pushing. In fact, he's going to get aggressive. And I'm not sure I like the play. Yeah, he gets pinched on 2 on 1 there. It would have worked if the second player hadn't have rotated through CT spawn, but Steel gets the frag. Shroud now using that same op that's dropped down in the connector, gets one more frag with it. They're going to fake the defuse. There's 3 there. I'm not sure why they're holding it. They are going to hold it this time, and Swag's going to get aggressive as well. Bit of a misplay to switch over to that op in that situation, and Shroud does drop down. Defuse comes in, or the D-plant, and that's going to make it 7-7.
Shroud didn't really have a choice. He knew he didn't have time to reload that Galil, so he kind of had to pick up the op, so I understand that part. It was a nice attempt there at the end, but once again, Skadoodle just being really dominant. He's already got a 20 bomb. He's 20-7 right now in the first half. That round he just held B by himself, so like I said, it's a really dynamic CT setup from iBUYPOWER. They're switching things up every single round. They're moving Skadoodle around with that op. That time they had AZK patrolling mid with the auto sniper. I played by himself at B with the op. He gets 2 picks to start it off, more than you could ever ask for really by yourself at a site, getting the way more efficient trade. And then they just won it out from there. So just good job. Skadoodle back at it again with the op there in the beginning.
Yeah, Skadoodle's on fire. Just to give you a scoreboard update, he's got 21 frags. That's almost, well, not quite double, but almost double everyone on his team. AZK's second with 12, and then it's 8 and 8, and Swag only on 5, interestingly enough. So not quite comfortable yet with iBUYPOWER, as we've seen him with Complexity doing so much work at those lands. Meanwhile, on the other side, Icy's only got 13, so Skadoodle's pretty much double everyone on the board right now, despite that it's a 7-7 game. So hello to that op. He has been absolutely massive, and we've seen him, like I said, hold down that B site all to his own, but this time he's down, and that's a big advantage right now for Mediocre Gaming as DeBorn gets that frag very beautifully, and now Shroud's trying to get into the site, but he's not sure where he wants to go, and it's not going to matter because he buys time for Icy, who comes in from Catwalk and picks up a double onto Swag and Steel. But, yeah, sorry, pardon me, you're right. The bomb is over at B. Irakanji had that, but now he's on his horse. He's trying to get away, but look at this. If you can just look at the overhead, Dazed is chasing, and he might get the angle on the corner. Not quite, but he knows he's there. Dazed completely is aware of the situation. He's still rotating around behind, and once again, Irakanji gets down the stairwell. This is like a horse race here. We're at the Kentucky Derby as Dazed here is going to come around behind. Shroud's going to take down AZK in the meantime. That's the only other iBUYPOWER remaining, and that's going to be the key for Dazed to say, I'm done. You can get away with that bomb. I'm going to turn around and head home. And missile lock not achieved. Bomb will be planted, and that should be the round. Oh, no, take that back. Look at this, actually. Dazed is electing to go into the catwalk. I thought he was going to just try and save it. But then again, he goes and tries to get aggressive as that was the last round of the half, and I can't count.
Yeah, that was almost disastrous for Mediocre Gamers. They tried to throw a fake on A and get to the B-bomb site, but Dazed never rotated. He held his ground. And if he would have caught that frag on Irakanji, that definitely would have been the round for iBUYPOWER. No questions asked. As you saw, Irakanji barely had time to bear all the way back over to the A-bomb. It's like at the bomb plant. There was like 2 seconds left on the clock when he completed the plant. So that was definitely almost a really huge blunder there from Mediocre Gamers. But in the end, they were able to get Irakanji to A through the underground. I was almost worried he was going to try to run across mid to get to A to make sure he got there on time. And if he would have ran into AZK's auto sniper, but I guess he was probably aware AZK was there, and so he took the safe route, but the slower one, and almost didn't have time, like I said. But in the end, they still won the round. They take the half 8-7, so they have a slight advantage, but it's not a big one. This map's pretty balanced. The pistol round will really kind of tell the tale.
Well, let's see if there's an aggressive pistol round this time from iBUYPOWER as opposed to the very passive play we saw from Mediocre Gamers. 4 players already heading to Horseshoe. Skadoodle, AZK, Swag, and Steel, while Dazed is going to sit up in middle here and actually get aggressive. And look at this, he's going to rotate through jail. Very interesting play, and they might get lucky into the A site right now as Shroud's the only player there. 3 players over at B, and DeBorn's already rotating given the aggression from Dazed. So, man, this A site is the place to be. Dazed's going to rotate back, get a free pass onto that mid connector here, and that's going to give him great positioning to take down any rotators. But AZK, again, just sitting here with the bomb, waiting for Dazed to make that call. He's in the site. This is interesting that he's been able to get that much map control and float around without being spotted right now. Finally, DeBorn is going to spot him and take him down. There it is. First frag of the round goes the way of Jumas. They might be able to recover from this as they have rotated back over to the A site. But again, they're not sure. And again, iBUYPOWER playing passive. I'm surprised. I expected a little more aggression out of these pistol rounds, and iBUYPOWER's actually paid the price for this one, because if they'd gone into the A site sooner, they had it. Mind you, they're still going to get the plant as they get it aggressively, but DeBorn, nice double frag there as he takes down both Swag and Skadoodle. Steel's going to respond into Shroud. Irakanji into AZK, and it's a 2-on-1 with bomb down. Steel, pardon me, 2-on-3. 3 HP for Irakanji. I didn't quite see that. Steel gets the frag on DeBorn finally, but now he's got to play Spider-Man here as he jumps down. Not able to do so. Good try on the juke, but Icy's going to get the frag and the defuse. Steel almost went clutch. And once again, the pistol round goes the way of Mediocre Gamers. So both pistol rounds have gone their way. And that's interesting to keep track of.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't start plowing the A side as soon as Days made it into A through the J, because at that point they knew that they either had to be Horseshoe or Cat, and that's really the only two places they could be. So that was like definitely an easy numbers advantage there. Obviously, they probably didn't realize that they had stacked 3B, and so that was probably really the reason why they were a bit cautious, wanted to be doubly sure, don't want to accidentally run into some type of ninja setup. But yeah, in the end, it did come back to bite them. Their slow play on it did allow Mediocre plenty of time to get off their B stack and rotate properly for a standard retake, and they still almost came up with the miracle in the end on the 1v3, but not quite.
Yeah, I like the cheeky attempt to jump over the railing there and stay alive as they tried to get aggressive on him. Right now, DeBorn, though, good positioning with that M4A1 on the second round, is going to take down one a cap, make it 2, as Shroud also picks up one onto AZK. Miniker so far the only one to drop here for the Mediocre Gamers, as Icy's going to get on his horse and rotate around. Nice gut knife. You can give that to me on Steam anytime you want. Shroud's going to get another frag onto Dazed, and Skadoodle, the last man remaining, does fall. So now 10-7 your score. And again, that pistol round has given them a lot of momentum, but interestingly, it was still a very close score at half, so iBUYPOWER doing very well on the gun rounds.
That's definitely true. Like I said, this map's pretty balanced. You can get rounds from either side depending on what your preference is as a team. Obviously, iBUYPOWER, with the bomb plant, is going to go ahead and buy out this round. They have 2 Galils and 3 AKs. They didn't buy armor or anything in the last round. They gave themselves like a somewhat of a chance by buying some upgraded pistols, but definitely made sure they had enough money for this round. So this is going to be the big test here.
Here it comes. They do have the rifles, and Dazed says, "Hello, you thought I had a pistol." And Miniker's going to drop down as a result, as he was very over-aggressive there, and that's going to make it a 5-on-4 already for iBUYPOWER as they try and get around that arguably isn't necessarily theirs for the taking based on statistics. As DeBorn now in the A site's going to flash out on Catwalk, trying to delay any more push. Steel's on 37 HP, important to note here for iBUYPOWER. So despite that it's a 5-on-4, he is weak and down on HP, and Steel's actually going to be the one that's aggressing here. He knows Irakanji's behind the box, and he's done enormous damage to him here, as he's down to 8 HP with a good recoil control from the AK, but he's unable to close it out, and that's actually going to be his invitation to fall back. He doesn't want to lose his life already, and Swag gets the frag on Icy at middle. Nice play. As the patience is working off, and now DeBorn has to fall back into the site. And there it is. Steel finishes off Irakanji, who's still waiting behind the box there. And Dazed and AZK will pick up the final 2. So the surprise buy, the early buy, gets them one more round here and back onto an even playing field. As now the score is 10-8.
Yeah, like I said, that was really going to be the first test of the second half. iBUYPOWER, of course, buying up after their bomb plant, and Jumas knew it. I mean, they had got M4s on their players and FAMASas, so they had what they needed to try to contest that, but they just got outplayed there. iBUYPOWER did a great job executing. They've now closed the gap a bit on the scoreboard, 10-8. Eco round for Jumas, a chance for iBUYPOWER to get it to 10-9 pretty quickly here.
And yeah, so back onto the save. Swag gets the first frag. AZK makes it a double, but DeBorn finally goes back into him. And that's going to make it 4-on-3. Bombs, as you can see down here, Day's just going to pick that up actually at the connecting stairs here at mid. T-stairs, and now look at that bunny hop. He managed to get 1 successfully, failed about 3, but that's all right. He's going to go join Swag at the B site, and that is wide open as Icy is rotating back through the CT spawn. Still at Horseshoe, though. A lot going on. Oh, Mediocre, gets away, but that nade's going to kill him. Does it? No, yes, it does. Steel does get the frag. The Pokeball catches him. Despite the tall grass and the wild Morphling trying to escape, Steel's going to get a second one on DeBorn, pushing through from Squeaky as they tried to pinch onto him, but the bomb will be planted over at B site in the meantime. And that leaves just Icy. Look at this. They still want Steel. The Battle of the Euro. Anything you can do, we can do better in North America. Let's see if the Ocean has the better advantage. And yeah, there it is. That internet connection you talked about gets the better of it. Icy drops down 10-9. Now your score, iBUYPOWER, making it close already, despite losing that second pistol round.
Yeah, I guess they're playing like New York or something to try to get Steel the best possible ping he could possibly get from Europe. Maybe Daze has bad routing? I don't know. But it's not really that big of a deal. Steel's been playing pretty well with high ping this entire regular season so far, so it's not too much to worry about. But now you're starting to see iBUYPOWER hit their stride. But this is the next big test, right? Jumas now has guns. It's going to be almost pretty much your first equal gun round of the half. So this will kind of let us know if iBUYPOWER has that momentum to keep pressing through, or if Mediocre is going to put a halt to it and keep this game close.
Well, it is very exciting that this is a close game. Definitely a few bugs to work out for iBUYPOWER, specifically their pistol rounds. But so far, this roster not looking too bad. I think Steel strat calling is a little bit interesting, and they're going to have to adapt to his meta. But there it is, the first frag on the board already. Swag drops down. Irakanji gets the best of that at the vents. And now Miniker's going to have to try and rotate around with his teammates. They've got DeBorn up here on top of the awning, but I think they're aware of it. And look at that, Skadoodle jumps over and takes him down immediately. Nice play, but Miniker and Shroud come back in with one each here as Steel and Daze drop down, and now it's all on Skadoodle. Irakanji gets aggressive onto him, takes him down a pit. Nice play there as now AZK, the only one remaining, a 1-on-3, and they know exactly where he is. He tries to get aggressive, and Shroud says, no way, sir. You are not coming out with one more clutch in this game. He takes him down. I want to go back to that scoreboard update. Skadoodle's kind of gone quiet in this half. He hasn't been able to get the op into his hands yet, and as a result, he's only picked up 2 frags, and Steel's done the most work. He's gone from 8 to 18 since the last time we talked about it. So without Skadoodle doing as much work, his teammates, have definitely stepped up their game.
Yeah, Steel's a very aggressive player, very comfortable on T side, so that's not too surprising. But also, yeah, I was talking about that awning, right? So there's only one spot where it's not transparent, and so it's just natural to check that. So that spot doesn't work as well as it used to anymore because of that change on the map. So just kind of highlighting something I talked about in pregame. But as you can see, Juma's got aggressive there, and Horseshoe with a double stack, picked up the kill, didn't get greedy, stepped away, and now they have an advantage in the round.
Smoke nades delaying everything that Miniker wants to try and peek here from J-Hall. He does have a bit of a gap there onto Horseshoe, and he tries to take advantage of it. Shroud's going to be there as well. Oh, that smoke crate would have completely annihilated that, that Molotov, but they did put it just beyond that. Here come the frags, though. Miniker and Shroud doing good work. Irakanji gets one more. Daze, the only player to pick up a frag for iBUYPOWER on that round. And look at this. Mediocre Gamers extend their lead to 3. 12-9 your score. And it looks like it's going to be a save round as well for iBUYPOWER. So really good play by Manajuma here on the defensive side. iBUY, man, Steel, you're going to have to come up with something clever. Maybe a little bit of aggression at B. We haven't seen too much of that yet.
Yeah, I think Rotadirt made this point in his article, is that these teams need to get their licks in on Complexity and iBUYPOWER early on because, you know, the teams are obviously still getting used to one another. And getting that chemistry. So this is actually the best opportunity for some of these underdog teams to beat these top 2 North American teams. But also, I want to point out, Mediocre is playing really well. This could be a land contending team.
I think much like last season, you know, and I don't even think iBUY and Complexity are that clear in the lead here. Last season it was them and about 4 or 5 other teams competing for the last 2 spots. It's going to be very similar this year. There's anyone that could really make it through to the LAN at this point, with the exception of perhaps that Stream team, as they started off a little bit sour. As with Exertus, but right now Miniker's going to be up here in the top side of B, trying to do some damage with that op, unable to hit shots like Skadoodle did in the first half, but they've got the man advantage here as Swag and AZK have already dropped. Steel, though, nice shot on a Miniker with that P2000. Again, once I mentioned before, they are on the save this round, so a good eco already as they do have the bomb planted, and they picked up 2 frags as an M4 is also in the hands now of Skadoodle, so he's going to have to play very smart with his teammates. He's the one in connector, but he's the one that also drops down immediately as DeBorn gets the frag on him. Daze picks up one more. DeBorn makes it a double, though, and now he will get the defuse as well. So they do pick up the gun round as needed, but iBUYPOWER did a pretty good job of getting guns out of their hand. Mind you, this isn't off the back of a pistol round. This is getting late in the game. 13-9 the score, and the eco rounds are either win or bust at this point.
Yeah, but going back to what you were saying earlier, I mean, yeah, besides Exertus and the Stream team, pretty much everybody right now is contending for a land spot out of the 9. So you have 7 teams basically right now competing for 4 land spots. I mean, obviously there's a chance that one of those 2 teams starts making a huge comeback this season and wins a few matches in a row, and all of a sudden they start contending too. But the point is this season is pretty competitive. You're seeing these top teams, mind you, still dealing with chemistry issues, getting toppled. I mean, Complexity got smashed last night. Got beat by 16 unanswered rounds by Ronins. on this very map as well. So it's either this map just being like a wild card map for these top teams and underdogs being able to use it to their advantage, or we're seeing this season just be more competitive overall.
Absolutely. iBUYPOWER in middle. Just waiting for some aggression. They've got to play picks, man. They've got to try and win out of sight right now. They haven't been able to do so. And again, Mediocre's going to get the first frag. So already a 5-on-4 situation again as iBUYPOWER lose their man Dazed, who was their previous strat caller. But as you guys talked about, Steel's been having some influence on the team. Swag's going to do some good damage to Icy. He's still only sitting on 8 frags. But here comes the aggression we see from him so often. That nade goes well beyond him. Actually picks up some damage onto Skadoodle, who follows in behind. And now DeBorn inside the... Oh, what a shot. Steel goes down immediately as he just played back and forth and baited out the sound. Irukandji takes down Skadoodle. AZK finally gets one more in response, but now Irukandji's above him, and that makes it very awkward as he sits in the bottom of the site. He's one of 2 players remaining for his team. Make it... Well, he's gone. Just like that. As now Swag, the only player remaining. Mediocre gets that frag. Mediocre gets a second one, and once again... And last season I don't remember it being quite so dominant, but the op on this map on the CT side has been pretty much everything for the defense.
I mean, playing solo B with an op is actually possible because usually when terrorists smoke at B, they're smoking off jail and CT spawn. So usually upper gets a free peek on the first player coming out of lower. Usually you get that unless you have an opper on the opposing team also just pre-peeking that upper angle. So that helps out a lot. And then mid's also another battle you see right there. Mediocre just won it though. He had the better reaction time. So it's just Mediocre's just kind of outplaying iBUYPOWER. I'm not sure what's happened with iBUYPOWER in the past few rounds, if they just kind of lost something, but they're getting wiped now. Good momentum from Jumas.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and Skadoodle once again drops down. So already early in the round, they find themselves a man down. They're losing these pick strategies, and it's just not working out at all as they try and just play passive again once in middle. Swag with bomb over toward B right now. Icy's pushed up right now into the halls. So Swag's just waiting that out. I didn't pay attention to early on in the round whether or not they heard each other, but they are definitely positioned in a way that suggests they know each other are there. Mind you, Icy could just be getting confident, given that they've extended the lead so much. Look at the stack, though. Irukandji's already rotated over toward the B site. Mediocre, DeBorn, and Shroud already positioned there, but finally it looks like iBUYPOWER are going to push onto the B site. They did go there a couple times. I think this will be the 3rd or 4th strategy they've played there, but they've got a much better chance at getting in. As I say that, though, Mediocre's creeping back to upper with that off, but AZK in a good position. There it is, rotating around from jail as they took out mid that time. The mid control works it very well, and now they can finally get into B. Icy's already dropped down, so they get a free bomb plant. 3-on-3, though, is the situation. Steel's on 8 HP, so they're going to have to play very smart positionally, and watch out. Irukandji is already in upper right now, and he's trying to find one pick onto Dazed, and he does get it. Nice shot by him as he peeks through just the corner there, and now Steel's going to get one more into him. Nice play. He's on 8 HP, as I mentioned, so any frag he can do right now is more than his questioning or more than his ask. And finally, Swag steps up and gets a double. There it is. He's into the double digits, and they pick up their 10th rounds, 14-10. Good play, iBUYPOWER. They finally got some control on the B site and execute to almost, I wouldn't say perfection, but cleanly, and get the bomb down and pick up a round.
And just in the nick of time, too, right? They would have been game point situation had they not have won that. So that was definitely the best time to come out of hibernation there and finally put something up on the board. I mean, iBUYPOWER is a very momentum-based team, so maybe that round could be it to finally get them rolling, get them going. But if Mediocre is able to stuff them here and get to game point, I think that there's a good chance that you'll see, I guess, the upset victory here for Mediocre Gamers. Especially money-wise.
Well, that's very true. Very, very true. Standard strategy right now as we see a 2-1-2 from the defenders here in Mediocre Gamers, and a pick strategy set up here from iBUYPOWER favoring toward mid, but right now they are rotating back slowly toward the B halls, just wanting to find out anyone they can. And actually, Mediocre's left middle with that op and worked over toward the A site, so Icy once again solo B, as you talked about, something that is very viable in this matchup, in this map, as it does promote the angles on entry, specifically if you play that upper site upper spot right now. As flashes and everything else that could possibly slow down iBUYPOWER get deployed on the catwalk. And that's actually going to give them the opportunity to try and wrap onto the B. Once again, pinching here with a 3-2 split. And it's going to be Steel and AZK this time coming from J. So Icy is going to have his work cut out for him as we lock it onto him as he sits down here in the pit. Here comes the entry. Is he going to get the first onto Skadoodle? He does, but Steel's already in a great position to get one in return. Icy, though, gets a frag on Skadoodle. Nice shot by him. And now DeBourne's already located himself in the upper side of B. Flash comes out, doesn't completely catch him out as he turns away in the nick of time. Dazed puts the bomb down, and now he holds on to that. What was that? Oh no! A complete overreaction as he was looking toward jail, expecting someone to be there. The shot was beautiful, but unfortunately it was the wrong teammate. And now he redeems himself slightly as he takes down Shroud. But man, oh man, that is a complete miscue. And you talked about it. These two teams not completely comfortable with each other yet. And that's the chemistry we're talking about. And they will get the round as a result. Dazed and Steel not working it out. And there it is, bomb defused, match point situation. Not something we often see from one of the best teams in North America. Arguably one of the best teams in the world.
Probably one of the worst team kills I've seen in a while. Like, sometimes you just happen to glance your teammate with the stray bullet while you're spraying somebody else on the other side of them. Or maybe you screw up or
Do you know what?
But
I think that Tops experiences knife at ETS.
I think
I don't know
Tops,
if you saw that.
The only TK that's better than that one is when Nothing stabbed the Jin in the back when they were on Dynamic together at ESEA when they were playing against Very Games. That was really, really bad. But this one, that sucked. We'll see if iBUYPOWER can recover here, though, and try to force an OT. But they don't have a lot of money, like I said.
This is, like you said, and I mentioned it again, it's chemistry that these two teams, or pardon me, that iBUYPOWER really needs to work out. Daze is going to get a double this round already. Good play by him. As one grenade kill and one pistol kill, 3-on-3 the situation. Bomb is down. iBUYPOWER doing everything they can to extend this. And you know what? Sometimes when you make a misplay like that, you look at each other, you get a little angry, and you go, you know what? Screw this. We're a good team. Let's play. So let's see if they can turn this into a good situation and realize that mistakes have been made. By the way, I called it a 3-on-3 situation. It's actually a 4-on-3. Steel's got 2 HP. The HUD there throwing me off once again as we do see him on the board. And it looks like they're going to pick up this round.
Yeah, Jumis is just saving, of course. That was actually a really hectic situation for iBUYPOWER there. They keep putting themselves in these high-pressure situations. You know, there was a situation a while back where it was going to be Mediocre's game point, and they came back with the round to make it 14-10. And then this round, you know, like I said, they barely had any money because they went on that maximum money bonus for losing 4 in a row, then won 1. That reset that bonus money. And they were in really dire straits this past round, but they came up with it. We kind of overshadowed that by laughing at Daze's TK, but that was a really huge round from iBUYPOWER to be able to win that. Now, as you can see, they picked up an M4. They're able to stabilize with their money, and now, I mean, there is a chance they could push 4 in a row and bring it to OT. We'll have to see.
Well, like I said, sometimes when you make mistakes and they're sloppy, oh my god, a scout shot from Icy. My favorite gun to use in a DM. I don't know about a match when it's this important, but he does get the frag. Nice play by him. As we also see an op on the board, Icy's going to be absolutely gloating right now with that shot. But sometimes, like I said, when you make a small mistake or a stupid mistake, an absolutely uncoordinated mistake, it's enough for you to say, nope, we're a better team than that. So we'll see if they can turn that around and if they've got some sort of chemistry that they can pull out here in the later part of this matchup. Mediocre tries to get aggressive once again in the middle. He gets shot out there by an AK down to 40 HP, and Dazed is going to continue to be aggressive and pursue the frag. Gets the better of it as now he drops down. 4-on-4 our situation. Icy on 7 HP, Dazed on 16, Steel on 28. So iBUYPOWER actually are a little bit down here on the back foot, but these guys have such great shots that really it doesn't matter. I've seen players clutch with 1 HP in situations like this, and AZK is going to get a double. Actually, pardon me, he gets another TK as he takes down Skadoodle. I thought that was a kill. I saw the blue from the assist, but that is another TK for iBUYPOWER. That one I didn't quite see from my perspective, so I don't know if it was just a spray. Look at this. Dazed is actually looking over on my screen at AZK, as if to say, yeah, I might as well just take one more down. Sorry?
I can almost imagine that conversation. Like, AZK, what the hell are you doing? AZK's like, dude, you opted shit out of Steel a couple rounds ago. You have no room to talk.
Yeah, bro. What are you talking about?
That's the imagined conversation that took place in my head. It probably didn't actually happen, but either way, iBUYPOWER making that comeback to try to force it to OT here.
And I feel like
actually tight for money.
Yeah, so they did pick up around. I want to say, I feel like just on personality-wise, AZK, when I met him at ETS, he is a very focused player. He is a player that definitely wants to work well as a team. But he seems, I don't want to be too judgmental about an individual, but he seems like the kind of guy that might beat himself up over something like that. So I don't think he's the one that can turn around the momentum. I think it's up to Steel and Dazed to right now say, guys, come on, pull it together and see if their teammates respond. So, you know, I'm not sure about Dazed getting a TK and maybe moving on as quickly. AZK might linger on it a little bit longer. Just kind of an observation I've made based on meeting them at LAN. So Irakanji going to get the first frag onto Swag. Icy going to get the second one. This could be the game as they're already. Icy making a third. Irakanji gets the fourth, and it's all on Skadoodle.
Wow.
He drops down, and that was an annihilation as Mediocre Gamers get the game. There it is, 16-12, your final score. 2-2 is now the record of iBUYPOWER's roster, as that chemistry, like we talked about, not necessarily there quite yet. And Mediocre Gamers extending their record here. I think that moves them up to 5-1 or 4-1 if I'm not mistaken.
4-2, and
4 and
they
2,
are now number 2 in the division. Ronan's being number 1 right now. United 5 number 3 with Lava Gaming number 4. Of course, Cole and iBUYPOWER still have some makeup matches to do, so the results are kind of skewed right now. But yeah, I mean, my point is here is that teams like Mediocre Gamers and Ronan's, the two teams that are at the top 2 right now in the standings, have actually both pulled upsets this week. Ronan's against Complexity, Mediocre Gaming just now against iBUYPOWER.